Welcome back to I Am Angus, brought to you by the American Angus Association and the iGenity Profile for Angus, providing Angus breeders with comprehensive genomic results for multiple economically important traits.
Mr. Penney had this farm. It was a jack and a stud horse farm, some of the most famous in the world. But the horse business went bad, and I suppose in the middle 40s, something like that, horses got to where they weren't worth anything, and that deal, people used to bring mares here from all over the middle United States to get them bred to different kind of jacks, because he had, or studs and jacks, he had all them, so that deal didn't work. In the meantime, he and Orrin James had an Angus partnership at the farm just north of here. So they decided to use this barn here as a show barn location and expand the Angus operation. So when my dad started working for him here at the farm, he'd say, you got Harold busy this morning? He'd say, well, yeah, but what do you need? He said, well, I'd like to have him help me today. So I'd go help him. We'd pick up sticks and old boards and anything with nails in them, and it'd be some old chunks of rock or chunks of foundation. He'd always find something that needed to be hauled off and put in the ditch. And we'd visit about the darndest things. I had no idea what a treat that was for me as a kid to be able to spend that much time with him, but I spent a lot of Saturdays with him. I remember he always said, like when we were trying to raise money for school here, to build a school or something like that, he always told me, he said, I don't mind helping those who will help themselves. So he wouldn't ever give them all the money, but he'd give a percentage of it. So he always intended he'd participate, but he wasn't going to ruin somebody or teach them not to work by giving them a lot of money. Of course, 487 was a hot bull. Eileen Mere 487, everybody had to have a son of him all nationwide. He loved that bull. Bull was part of the family. And everybody loved that bull. He made this farm what it was at the time. And you'd sometimes be 4, 5, 6 big old cars, big long limousine type cars. And Orrin James wouldn't let any other person sell a bull but him. He had a lot of capable people here that could have sold bulls, but he was going to sell all the bulls. He was the boss, and he was Mr. Penney's partner. $10,000 was the minimum on the cheapest bulls. If you picked out a better one, it was more. And people would wait in line just to get a chance to look at bulls. And Orrin would come out down here, and he'd meet people right outside here and take the first one in line. He'd take him up and show him a bull. And the bulls are north of here about a quarter of a mile. Well, when they'd get through looking and that man pick a bull out, he'd come back, next guy in line, and be waiting there. The longer he waited, the easier he was to sell. And they had a line there. They had lines there a lot of days, and people would wait. And that was his. He could have let other people sold them, priced them, but he wouldn't let them look at a bull but one at a time, bull buyers. Eileen Mere 487 had cancer, so we got permission from the insurance company Orrin, to euthanize him. Orrin said, you bury the bull. And it happened to be the day of Orrin's mother's funeral. So he couldn't be here for the bull burial. So we had to go out here, and with shovels, we dug the biggest, deepest hole it took all day. And we finally got that hole dug, and we took a wrecker from uptown, put him in that hole. And after we got him in the hole, that night, Orrin came back from his mother's funeral. He said, which way did you lay him in there? Well, we laid him in there with his tail to the east. So he got all upset about that. He said he wanted him to face the sun coming up in the morning. Well, we weren't about to dig him back up, so he's still laying there with his tail into the east. So when he went to buy a tombstone for his mother, he went and bought a duplicate tombstone for the bull. It's the same tombstone from the same place, bought the same day. Mr. Penney and I remained very close friends until his death. We spent a lot of time talking to each other. He would take the time to scribble me a letter once in a while, and he would advise me about certain little things. He was a man that wanted the information. He wanted to know what was going on here in this community. He loved his home community, and even late in life, he wanted to know how our school projects were going and how the farm was going. And when I did buy this farm, he wrote me the nicest letter. He said, I'm so glad that you were able to purchase my Homeplace farm. He said, I know you'll take care of it, and I feel like it's in good hands. And not very many of us are fortunate enough to be excited about going to work. Go look at a new calf. You know, go see their cattle and go out and walk around and watch the calves suck mama at night in the summertime and eating green grass and slobbering a little when they're full of milk. There's nothing more important in life than having a job that you like to do. And if somebody's got a job he hates, he needs to be doing something else.